Hi, I'm Rupert,
And I'm Redbeard.
and this is Rupert's Beard.
Today we are going to be going over the uh, Black Purple King list that was in our last battle. Uh, Fortunately, well, if you've seen the video, you know. If you haven't, go watch it. But before we get this deck profile started in, that you guys can already kind of see, uh, don't forget to leave a couple comments with any ideas for us. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when the next videos are up.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and since you want to do that out of order,
Yeah, I did. I just had to go first because it's my video.
well, I figured you would say like, subscribe.
Yeah, you, you should know better than to try. You should know better than to try and enter my mind palace.
Go
Anyway,
with your first card.
this is so obviously the leaders: OP08 King, Black Purple, 4 life, 5k power. Activate main Dawn -2. You either get to draw a card if your hand is 5 or less, or you give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost this turn. I don't like that it's Dawn -2.
Yeah.
Like, I get like we have different options, and cost -2 is on a leader is kind of okay because like most of the others are only cost -1. So I get why they had to make it expensive, but if it was Dawn -1, I feel like I'd like him a lot better. I like the deck a lot. It's just your leader effect you don't want to use. I feel like until you have 10 Dawns, you're not minusing each turn.
If he didn't have the hand limit restriction of 5, I think cost -2 would be, or Dom -2 would be fine.
Yeah, it's the hand that also because it's drawing a card is good, but if you're at 6 cards and I can't draw a card, what do I do with my leader if my opponent has no characters?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those they made him too fair.
Yeah, kind of like Marco.
Yeah.
We've got two of the 10 drop OP01 Kaido. The 12k power, no counter. On play, Dawn -6. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type, KO all other characters. On the field, just big old board wipe. Uh, Unfortunately, Sabo was pretty good at stopping that. But
Yeah, but
other than
unless
that, you
you're up
play
against
around it.
him,
You just wait a turn.
he's a
Uh,
very good stabilizer.
yeah, he is. You fall behind a little bit. You have a I don't have a board anyway. All right, Raigeki on a body. Dark Hole on a body.
Yeah.
We've got three of the OP08 7 drop 8k King, no counter value. On play, Dawn -1. If your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, this character gets rushed till the end of the turn. Just honestly a decently sized rush body, and by the time
Yeah.
you can play him, your opponent guaranteed is going to have 5 or more Dawn. I guess unless you're against Reiju, maybe.
Uh,
Even then, most of the time, they're not that far behind you.
yeah, they should still be reasonable.
Yeah. We are on two of the 9 drop 9k Charlotte Lin Lin. On play, Dawn -1, and trash a card from your hand. Add up to one card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. Then place up to one of your opponent's characters cost a 6 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life face up. I think it's funny that they made both of the effects up to 1 so you don't have to recover. I think if you don't, it's kind of not very smart, but you technically don't have to do it, which is funny. And then the other one, the removal effect, I like that it's up to 1 as well, because sometimes that one extra life can just stop your opponent. Like it just stops an OT, stops a game-winning turn if you give them one extra life sometimes. So if they don't have any
Yeah,
blockers or anything up, you don't have to do it either.
very true.
We are on 4 of the 3 drop 2k counter Black Maria. Activate main if you have no once per turn. If you have no other Black Maria, add up to 5 Dawn from your Dawn deck rested. Then at the end of the turn, return Dawn cards in your field to the Dawn deck until the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to the number of your opponent on your opponent's field. So like after you board wipe Kaido or next card we're going over Rush Kaido, after you put yourself back a bit of Dawn, she's good to just slap down, gain your Dawn back immediately. Even if you only use her once, it's good enough value. Honestly, I think she's better in the structure deck Kaido.
Yep.
She's in here because she's a searchable 2K. And like I said, you can make use of her effect. It's just not as relevant. She's usually just a 2K.
And if you have her out with Kid and you have to put Dawn back,
Oh yeah, it's true. You get one back anyway.
yep. And I think,
Which that's something I've thought about maybe running is Kid. Is like it's another card that you could run in here. I'm not at the moment, but honestly, Kid plus Onigashima Island does make your leader effect free each turn.
yep,
We're on two of the structure deck for Rush Kaido, 9 drop, 10k, on play, Dawn -5, KO up to one of your opponent's character with a cost of 6 or less. Then, surprise, surprise, Rush Kaido gets Rush.
who would have thought?
Yeah. We're on four of the 5 drop, 6k structure deck Queen, which is
81-cent
blocker,
Queen.
1k counter. Yeah, this. Oh my goodness, the if those of you keeping up with the PRB values, boy did this guy tank.
He needed
Uh,
it.
he needed it. He did. But he is, for those of you who don't know, he's a blocker. On play, Dawn -1. Draw 2 cards, trash a card from your hand. So counting the, since it's a guy that sticks on board and it's a sizable blocker, I'd still count it as a +1. Good. So you get to filter. You draw 2. You get a blocker on board.
That is a +1.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because originally I was thinking in terms of like spell cards from Yu-Gi-Oh. How if you use one, it's basically a like Pot of Greed's basically only a +1.
Well,
Kind
it
of.
is because
You use one to
you
get it.
keep the body.
Yeah, that's why I had to think about it there for a second.
It's like if there was a monster Pot of Greed, you would still be
Yeah,
you'd be at a plus
that'd
two.
be crazy. We're on two of the Structure Deck 10 Trafalgar Law. 4 cost, 5k, 1k counter. Blocker, on play, Dawn -1. If your opponent has 7 or more cards in hand, you can trash 2 cards from their hand. If I was going to cut anything and change anything in the deck, it would maybe, if I was going to put kids in, it would be for this Law, probably. I just, I had 2 open slots. Law's a neat card. He comes up.
He does,
And a blocker's always good.
and he's
Uh,
5K, so he can swing if needed.
yeah, that's true. Sometimes that does matter. We're on 3 of the 5 drop 6k Sabo, 1k counter, another blocker. On play, your characters can't be KO'd by card effects till the start of your next turn. Then draw 2, trash 2. So you get to draw cards, cycle, become unKOable for the whole board. Pretty good.
Get rid of extra cards that you don't need.
Yeah, extra this guy. We'll go two of the 9 drop 9k Kaido. Activate main once per turn. You can discard a card from your hand. If this character was played this turn, place up to one of your opponent's 7 cost or lower characters in the trash. So that does get around Sabo.
Yep,
Then your opponent discards a card from their hand. They do get to choose what card it is, but forcing your opponent to ditch a card, plus getting rid of one of their guys is a pretty good thing for a 9 drop.
it
Plus
is.
it's a 9k
Us.
body.
And where he's activate main turn he's
Yeah,
played, you can drop him King effect,
yeah,
so he can hit a 9 cost.
that's true. That is true. We are on 3 of the 7 drop 8k Jack. Activate, he just base, he has +4 cost. The moment you slap him down, he's an 11 cost. Activate
Very good.
main, you can rest him, draw 1 card, trash 1 card from your hand, then KO up to one of your opponent's cost 3 or lower characters. Since it's draw 1, then trash 1, you do get to see what you draw at first. So if you draw a combo piece or anything, you don't pitch the corresponding piece before you see what it is, unlike some other cards, which is nice. Plus, getting it to KO something, just the turn he can't attack the turn he comes down, so just being able to slap a body down, cycle a card, and KO something is pretty good.
Yep.
And with the King effect, he hits 5Ks or 5 costs.
I mean,
We
it's
are.
kind of red
I
though.
mean, he can hit 5Ks too. Some of those are lower, but we're on 4 of the 5K, 5 cost, 2K counter. Who's Who? On play, you can discard 1 card from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's 3 cost or lower characters. Trigger, just straight up KO up to one of your opponent's 3 cost or lower characters. He's another searchable 2K. He's another way to kill things. Trigger comes up sometimes, like if your opponent has a bunch of weenies. Granted, Weenie Rush Zoro is kind of out of the way now. Uh,
Zero walked so that way Delphi could run.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. We are on down to the events now, and eventually stage. We are on 4 of the Gum Gum Jet Gatling. Zero drop counter. You can discard one card from your hand. Up to one of your leader or characters gains 3k power for the battle. Triggers just Rampadon active. That's why I've
Really
got
good.
it as 4 instead of 3, or 4 instead of the other one. We're on 3 of We're Going to Claim the One Piece. One drop search card. Main if your leader has the Animal Kingdom or Big Bomb Pirates type. Look at 5 cards on the top of your deck. Reveal up to one Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Bomb type pirate card and add it to your hand. Searches the majority of the deck, including 9 Bomb, which is good.
Hmm.
I think honestly the only things that it does not add. It doesn't add any of the zero drops, but other than that, it can add to your stage. Honestly, I think it just doesn't add character-wise. It only doesn't add Law and Sabo.
I think so.
Yeah, everything else it should snag. And Trigger is the same effect. It is the 4 Emperors land a Wano, but yeah, that is weird that it just says other.
Yep.
That is very strange. Uh, we're on 2 of the 6 drop event Hawkeye Ocean Sovereignty. Dawn -2 main if your leader's type has the Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom Pirates in it. KO up to 2 of your opponent's cost 6 or lower characters. Purple Red Rock. Or
Yep.
not Red Rock, Purple Gravity Blade. Gravity Blade. Uh, Purple Gravity Blade pretty much. It's searchable off the event. Your leader is a Animal Kingdom Pirate, so you might as well have it in there. It's more removal. With King's effect, that lets you sometimes pop out like a 6k and an 8k on the same turn, which is great.
He means cost.
What did I say?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I say that a lot. I meant cost. We are on 4 Ice Age. It's kind in black. It's kind of a good card. You kind of have to run it to hit bigger stuff these days.
It's so broken.
It is just 1 cost. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -5 for the turn, so you can play it and still play Kaido. You can play Kaido. You can play Big Mom. Play other Kaido. It's just one cost -5k is so good. And then trigger
Yeah.
KO up to one of your opponent's characters cost 3 or less. Same as Who's Who. So you've got 4 triggers that just KO a little guy. KO vanillas. Like 3 cost vanillas. Uh, that's probably about the only thing. I guess it could blows up jump blockers. We're
Yeah.
on 2 of the black zero drop 6 king pistol. Uh, Zero drop counter. You may trash 1 card from your hand. Up to one of your leader characters gets 3k power during the battle. Triggers draw a card, then KO up to one of your opponent's characters costs 1 or less. I mean, the trigger, honestly, most of the time you're probably going to keep this one in hand. But the trigger, if you're on no cards in hand, this is your life. Technically, it does give you a way to dig for another card. But it's just in here as another option. You run a lot of cards with no counter value, so 6 zero drops I feel like isn't too many. And then we are on 4 of the 3 drop Onigashima Island. Activate main, rest this stage. If your leader has Animal Kingdom Pirates type, add a Dawn from your Dawn deck and rest it. Uh, Pretty much you want to see this thing. It technically means if you in a pinch you can king effect and use this, and you're technically going up 1 Dawn each turn. I wouldn't recommend doing it a lot because you can fall behind quick, but it is something
Hmm.
that you can do. Like I said, if the major change I would test maybe is dropping the laws for 2 of the kid, OP05 kid. Yeah, it's 5. 2 of the
I think so.
OP05 kid. The one that if you're on Dawn, if your Dawn is returned, then you get to add one. Or yeah, if you Dawn minus, you get to add back a Dawn
Yeah.
active. That's what I would think of at the moment. But other than that, I'm kind of happy with how it plays. It's just the leader itself is a bit too fair to make much of a splash in most places. But
Yeah.
it can take people by surprise because nobody really expects it. But other than that, it is a fun deck. If you guys have any ideas, any changes, love to hear it in the comments. Make sure to hit that notification bell.
And if you like the video, don't forget to the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, where Red is going to fumble on his words.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was your part. But
Yeah.
pretty much, that's what we got. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, check out our other videos. If you haven't seen the battle for this deck, want to see how it plays, go check that out.
I forgot to mention I will be having a card to the battle in the videos. I figured out how to do that.
Hey, that's a good sign.
Well,
But we'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.
bye bye.